At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy Friday to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Coffee with Krueger. How you doing out there this morning? It's Friday. We're getting ready for some good fun. We've got some of our regulars checking in this morning here, and we've got Catherine, Ruth, and we've got Chappie checking in here this morning. All doing their good things, right? We've got Chappie saying happy Friday to everyone. Of course, you saw there during the intro from a little message from Ruth and from Catherine Schmidt as well. So good morning to the regulars. Good morning to you who may be new to Weather NorCal. By the way, if you are new to Weather NorCal, number one, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Number two, you can also watch on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and you can watch from the YouTube channel as well. And if you have a smart TV, you can watch from all three of those platforms. All you have to do is just search for Weather NorCal in all three of those, and before you know it, you're good to go. So be sure to check that out. It's just a great way to start your morning. Have it on in the background. You're getting ready for the day, and you can get your weather forecast for the day. Speaking of the weather forecast, let's go to Krueger's Quickcast. This is just a quick look at the forecast here before you head out the door this morning. And it looks like we are starting off with, well, not much in the way of rain, but we did see some heavy rainfall out in Glenn and Butte County yesterday afternoon and evening. It prompted a flood advisory south of Chico and a flood warning north of Chico. And of course, the flood warning was for the burn scar area of the park fire because of the threat and concern for mudslides and debris flows. That, of course, very quickly shifted off to the east, and things have dried out for this morning, although maybe a few snow flurries off to the east there this morning. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals we have seen here in the last 3 days. And, you know, as expected, especially the north end of the valley did see the heaviest amount of rainfall. But after yesterday afternoon and evening, Chico got to see about a half of an inch of rainfall. So there you can see, of course, less elsewhere. We didn't see the heavier showers in the valley, at least. But again, where we're seeing that typical footprint off to the north and west, almost 3 inches in Klamath, over 2 inches in Crescent City and Trinidad, Hoopa almost 3 inches as well, but not as much heading off to the east. I do need to mention there's a coastal flood advisory until noon today. The high astronomical tide in that area is going to create some of the typical flooding issues and concerns that we have in that area, especially around Humboldt Bay, but even northward as you get closer to the Del Norte County line. There are your temperatures out there this morning. 43 degrees for Redding, 39 in Chico. We've got those temperatures in the low to mid 30s off in the eastern mountains, mid to upper 30s in Siskiyou County, and the mid to upper 30s for the coast. Taking a look at that visibility out there this morning, looks like pretty good along the coast, but we actually do have, looks like maybe some fog. If you live out in Weaverville, let me know how it looks over there for you, or if you're in Hayfork, let me know if you're dealing with that fog out there this morning. But you can see things are looking pretty good out there this morning out at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Why is my mouse not working? Oh, there it is. I was trying to get get the camera coming up from Crescent City. Ooh, yeah, look at that. That looks pretty nice right there. Looks like some puffy, some of those cumulus clouds kind of popping up there off in the distance there. So some showers off to the west. Now, a lot of the showers that we're seeing just west of the coast, those should, for the most part, stay over the ocean because they're essentially moving from north to south and not necessarily moving eastward into the coast. We'll take you back to the camera here so we can get you back to the weather maps here this morning. And again, we're seeing some of the low visibility in some areas here, especially out towards Trinity County, but certainly is something to be expected, especially after some of that wet weather. You clear things out, you see the calm winds, and you tend to see that low-level moisture turn into fog. Starting off this morning with some chain requirements, mainly for big rigs east of I-5 on Highway 44 and Highway 36, and you can see to the south, if you're heading out to the Tahoe region, you've got some chain requirements there as well. There's a look at the road conditions out towards Highway 299 East. Hatchet Mountain looks okay. You can see also on known as the Four Corners at Highway 99, or Highway 89 and 299 intersection, but look at Cedar Pass. Now, there aren't any chain requirements on Cedar Pass, but that looks like chain requirement to me. So yes, that's what it looks like on Cedar Pass, to be expected. And that's something I've been talking about over the last few days. Taking a look at Highway 36 and 89, this is near Chester. Chester, it looks like you've got some snow. This is right around the same elevation as Chester. So if you live in Chester, give me a confirmation. Let me know what it looks like where you are. Or tell me what it looks like where you are. There you can see for down your summit, 5,600 feet. Looks like we got some icy roads up there and some snow as well. Let's take you out to Highway 70. This is east of Quincy. Looks like things are okay, but the side of the road, yeah, you're seeing a lot of that snow accumulating there. So kind of interesting to see that. Take a look at the road, Interstate 5 and Highway 89. Looks like everything is all clear there as well, even on Highway 89, where earlier this week we did see some pretty big issues over there. All right, let's take a look at the road conditions and what we expect here as we go through the day today. They should actually improve. Maybe Cedar Pass seeing more snow throughout the afternoon, and by the time we get into this evening and tonight, there's still maybe a few snow flurries here and there, but I do expect things to kind of quiet down later this afternoon. All right, getting you out the door this morning, we do have those temperatures in the low 40s in the valley at 8 o'clock this morning. Could see a few stray showers for the coast, but quite honestly, I don't expect much, if anything. It should be fairly dry for the coast throughout the day today. There, take a look at the satellite image here. The speckled cloud still indicating that colder air that is in place, and that's going to continue to bring us chances for scattered showers over the weekend, which we'll get into that here a little bit later. Still have a winter weather advisory for the mountains east of the valley until 10 o'clock tonight. That's for mainly elevations about 5,500 feet. There it is this morning, taking you through around midday. Things are really starting to kind of quiet down. And then by the afternoon, evening, looks like we're looking at mainly dry conditions, and that's the case for tonight, and mainly clear skies for the valley. But should be a little breezy out there, by the way. You may have noticed that this morning in some areas in the valley in particular, but even along the coast and eastern mountains. So midday, we're talking 20, 25 mile an hour gusts is what we could see here. They may subside a little bit this afternoon and evening, but you can also see for tonight through tomorrow morning, there's a freeze warning for the inland areas of Del Norte and northern Humboldt County. So that would include Hoopa and Gas Key, for example. There's a frost advisory along the coast around Crescent City and Eureka, also for the same time frame. Temperature is generally dropping down to the upper 20s and low 30s. So protect those plants that need to be protected from those cold temperatures, and hey, make sure your pets have somewhere warm to sleep too tonight. Upper 50s to around 60 in the valley for today. The mountains quite chilly. You're talking temperatures mainly in the upper 30s to low 40s, and along the coast in the low to mid 50s. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for the valley and some changes. Some big changes in next week's weather. First of all, you'll notice there's showers there on Wednesday. That's part of the big changes. Also, notice the temperatures. They're not warming up a whole lot either. Remember, we were expecting that to get to the mid to even upper 60s. So the forecast models this morning did a complete and total flip-flop on me. Take a look at the 7-day forecast for the coast, inland, and Weaverville. Remember, all this week I've been talking about dry and warmer conditions for next week. Look at next week. Looks a lot more active, doesn't it? Now we're going to talk about this in more detail, walk you through the timing of all of this and where we expect most of the showers to be. But you can kind of see here, we do have a cool and unsettled weather pattern going into and through next week. Oh, wow. Look at that. Beautiful shot out at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. This is the Lake Oroville State Recreation Area camera that they have in the area access. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Main Street, Chico, Highway 32. Looks like some leftover wet roads from yesterday evening's wet weather. It was coming down. And I tell you what, it was coming down really heavy to the north of Chico. Could see some lightning strikes and hail, the works, right? Highway 99 at Neal Road. You can see, looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there. Unfortunately, we don't have the camera moving. It doesn't seem like the camera wants to refresh, at least on my computer. Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Things are looking A-okay there as well. Hey, today is Friday. We have got our pet of the week, and today, oh, I was going to do that, but I didn't do that. All right, not a problem. Not a problem, my friends. We'll get that in here. I have to put this into my computer software. And we are going to get to it in just a second. Let me just load it up here. Da. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and, nope, that's the wrong one. What did I do? Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and load it up. Here we go, folks. We are going to take a look at Pet of the Week. Let's do it. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. This is Pet of the Week. We're at Haven Humane Society with Katrina from Haven Humane. Welcome. Good to see you again. And this is our special guest, Shasta. About 5 years old, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of breed we're looking at here.
Yeah, us too. We have her just like a hound mix.
Oh, hound.
We're not quite sure. She definitely looks like she might have some type of terrier in her. She's only about 40 pounds, so she's definitely on like the smaller side of things, which is good for a lot of people. And her being 5 years old is great because she does have a lot of energy, like when you first get her out of her kennel and everything, but she does settle down pretty easily.
Yeah.
And she's honestly just a big sweetie.
She really is. I mean, 5 years old, really I think would be just a good compliment to any household. I mean, kids, what do you think, other dogs, other cats?
She's done pretty good with other dogs. She can be pretty playful. So I think she could overwhelm a dog that wants to just sit on the couch all day.
So she doesn't necessarily want to sit on the couch all day.
Not with other dogs. She's very playful with other dogs and really likes wrestling around.
Okay, there you go.
She's pretty spry.
There's nothing wrong with that. We love it when dogs like to play with each other. At least you get along with other dogs. That's the important thing. All right, anything going on? Anything specials? Is that kind of that time of the year? It's kind of like, what's going on?
Right, we're kind of in between specials right now, I would say. But Shasta here, since she is 5 years old, her adoption fee is actually only $25.
Good deal.
If you ended up wanting to adopt her.
Good deal. All right, well, if you're interested in Shasta or any other of the animals they have here at Haven Humane, call the number at the bottom of your screen and call, and of course, they'll take care of you over here at Haven Humane. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you, and we'll see you next week for Pet of the Week. Well, there you have it. That is a look at Pet of the Week here. That Shasta, what a great dog here. And, definitely very playful. You can kind of see in some of that footage that I shot there, just kind of running around, having a good time here, but also was pretty good, pretty well behaved when we were just kind of hanging out on that bench there. So if you're interested in Shasta or any other animals, be sure to contact Haven Humane Society. You can always watch the latest Pet of the Week. I'll post it on Facebook in the morning. I also have it on YouTube, and you can check it out. Just go to the Animal Family section on weathernorcal.com, and you will be good to go. Well, let's check in with everybody this morning. We got Rob Horn. Rob Horn is from Carmichael. Well, that's interesting. What, someone watching from Carmichael this morning? Hey, I invite anyone to watch. So Rob Horn, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got Bill Carlton this morning saying, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Hey, who's got plans for the weekend? If you're in the valley, you should be looking at dry conditions for you, so it should be pretty good there. There's a look at one of our regulars, Curtis Brown, watching this morning, saying, good morning, everyone. Friday is here, and it definitely is. Very excited about that. And we've got Stephen Koch saying, greetings. Greetings to you, my friend. And good morning from Delinda Lynch. She's saying good morning. And we got Christina. Here's a name I haven't seen before, or maybe I have, but not one of the regulars for sure. But Christina, thank you for joining us this morning, and welcome. She's saying good morning. So glad you all could join us. Chappie's also saying beautiful dog. Shasta definitely was. And it looks like you yourself, based on your profile picture there, is a beautiful dog as well. If it's your dog, beautiful dog. All dogs are beautiful though, right? And we've also got Terry saying, good morning, what a sweet dog. And Shasta definitely was a very sweet dog. So certainly had a good time hanging out with Shasta. Looks like we have got, someone telling us what their plans are. Good morning, Mike. Putting up a new backyard fence if weather permits. Well, Chris, if you're in the valley, I think you'll be okay. But if you are, let's see, where would be the worst place you'd want to be? The coast, probably not the best. But I don't know, I'd say like Eastern Mountains, Moda County, you'd be okay. And of course the valley, you'll be okay as well. So it just depends on where you are. But good luck with that. And I thought you said, when I first saw it, I thought it said permits. You got to probably deal with city permits, and that's not fun. That means your fence will go up like next year by the time they approve it, right? But fun, fun, fun. All right, well, thank you all so much for checking in this morning. Hey, let's get to the deeper dive forecast. But before we do that, we need to mention one of our sponsors. And our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. So thank you so much, Wind River, for your support of Coffee with Krueger and Weather NorCal in general. We'll take a look at the rain that we're seeing now, which isn't much. There's a little bit of snow that we're seeing just kind of making its way to the south here. We're seeing some showers off to the west of the coast, but notice the movement of this activity, at least west of the coast. It's moving from north to south, and the activity here is also kind of moving a little bit north to south as well. So that's kind of the upper level flow. So these showers should mainly stay off to the west. That's why we do expect to see dry conditions here for the north coast, and really dry conditions for almost everyone. Temperatures right now on the cool side, around in the upper 30s to about 40 in the valley. We've got 31 degrees for Alturas, 35 degrees in Susanville. There you can see 38 degrees for Crescent City and 36 right now in Eureka. Here's your headlines. Mainly dry today, minus Modoc County in the East Mountains. At least to start off the day, unsettled pattern continues through the weekend. And remember, all this week I've been talking about a dry and warmer pattern for next week. Long-range forecast models have flip-flopped on us. Not looking as warm, not looking as dry for next week either. In fact, it looks like it's going to be unsettled through all of next week. And we'll talk about that in more detail, why that's happening and what's going on. But we still have this trough of low pressure in place, the cooler air that's kind of settling on in, and that's keeping our temperatures down. But it's also keeping the chances for some showers out there as well, especially as we go into the weekend. There's that next disturbance that'll be here by tomorrow, another one coming in behind that for Sunday. All right, so let's take a look at the weekend forecast. Let's get you prepared. All right, Chris, you got the fence going up? Take a look at what we got going on this weekend. So take a pick where you are, and we're going to be putting up your fence, and you can see where the rain and snow is going to be. All right, so this morning, it's showing a little bit more activity than we're seeing right now this morning, but we could see some snow flurries off to the east, even for parts of central and eastern Siskiyou County, but dry for the valley, dry for Trinity County, dry for the north coast. And that's the case this afternoon too. Mainly sunny skies here, and you can see dry conditions across the board for this afternoon and evening. Clear skies tonight will make for a very chilly night tonight, although for areas that are seeing gusty winds, maybe not as cold. But there's tomorrow morning, some high clouds filtering in. We've got the next system coming on in. Now this one's a weak one, but it is going to give some of us a little bit of rainfall. So there's noon. We're just beginning to see some light sprinkles hitting the north coast, western Siskiyou County. Everyone else dry for the first half of the day on Saturday. Let's take you into Saturday afternoon. Now, here's 5 p.m. This system is mainly going to be to the north and west, Siskiyou County, Del Norte, Humboldt, central northern Trinity County, and northern Shasta County as well. Now, it looks like as we go into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, it's just going to clip the north end of the valley. So, maybe you're out for an evening walk Saturday, you might run into a passing sprinkle. And that would be the extent of it. Don't cancel that evening walk. Most of it's going to be the north and west, but look at through the day. Modoc County, Lassen, Plumas counties, you're dry all day on Saturday. All right, then you can see as we go into Saturday night, we do see some of that snow pushing through Modoc County, but then by Sunday morning, it's gone. But look at the coast, look at Del Norte, look at Humboldt County, look at western Siskiyou County, and really focus on this area right here, because this is the area, even through next week, that we'll see the most amount of rainfall as these systems pass through next week. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But there you can see, right? Most of it's to the north and west. Here's noon on Sunday. See where it all is? Right here. It's dry for everyone else. A little bit of activity trying to pop up in Modoc, but that's really a whole lot of nothing, quite honestly. But see this right here? That is the next disturbance pushing through. This could bring us more substantial rain. And where's that main focus? Right here, right? Del Norte, Humboldt, central northern Trinity County, and most of Siskiyou County as well. But through the day on Sunday, it's dry for the valley, dry for Modoc County, Lassen, and Plumas counties. Then by Sunday night, since this is so weak, it will push through, and we may see a brief sprinkle or a light shower for the valley, and then eventually making its way into the eastern mountains Saturday night when most of you are asleep. But then by Monday, it's all pretty much gone. All right, let's take a look at some of the forecast rain totals through Sunday evening. And yeah, it's picking up on something for Redding, but a whole lot of nothing, right? But where's the main focus? Right here. Whole lot of nothing off to the east, whole lot of nothing for the valley as well. That's through Sunday. Now, we still have the winter weather advisory through 10 o'clock tonight, east of the valley, but I got to be honest, I have a feeling that may expire before that because we're not going to see much activity here for this evening. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals through the weekend. It's not much, is it? So what I was talking about here. Now, of course, we're not seeing snow here because it's going to be in the form of rain. Look at the forecast snow total for the ski park. And this is something we'll kind of focus on more now, right? People start thinking about getting ready to go skiing, go snowboarding. Yeah, all right, it's picking up on a little bit on top of what we've already seen. And that's what we need to see. We don't need to see rain on the ski park at this point because now we've got snow up there. Let's keep it up there. Let's get it cold enough for it to just stay there and maybe get some more snow coming in. All right, I'm going to take you back to that map again. I was just kind of talking and then it kind of clicked. But we do have some chain requirements this morning. So if you drive a big rig in particular, do note that east of I-5 there are chain requirements. And let's take a look at some of the cameras because we don't have that chain requirement for Cedar Pass. But look at Cedar Pass right now. I mean, it is just covered in snow. So that's not looking like a very good situation. But of course, looking better at Four Corners. That's 89, 299. In Hatchet Mountain. Let's take a look at some other cameras from Caltrans here. You can see this is out near Chester, 4,500 feet. Chester seeing some snow. Look at that, you saw some snow. Looks like towards for down your summit. Yeah, you can see some slushy or icy roads there, it looks like. This is Highway 70, and looks like this is just east of Quincy that we're seeing here. Just on the side of the road, you're seeing that snow, but it doesn't look like it's really on the road itself. And then we take you out to I-5, Highway 89, just for fun. Doesn't look like, well, that's 627. That's about an hour ago. I think this updates every hour. I wish it updated more often, but not much going on there near I-5. Snowman Summit, earlier this week. Of course, you saw what it looked like earlier this week, right? So definitely a different story here this morning. All right, let's take a look at the forecast road conditions here. You can see by noon, conditions are really improving. So overall, I just don't expect there to be a lot of problems with the chain requirements. It's just cold out there. So it's going to take a while for some of that snow and ice to kind of dissipate. But there you can see this morning, we're actually seeing some gusty winds a little bit up to the north, a little breezy in some spots here this morning. But I also expect the breezy conditions here through the afternoon. Here you can see gusts upwards of around 20, 25 miles per hour for the valley, gusty winds for the coast, gusty winds off to the north and east. So yeah, a little breezy, but certainly not the wind event we saw a few days ago. They're subsiding a little bit this afternoon and evening, but look at tomorrow morning. Most of us are seeing the calmer conditions, but still a bit breezy to start off the day on Saturday in the valley. But by Saturday afternoon, those winds should subside. And then Sunday, we'll probably see those winds pick back up a little bit with the approaching weak system moving through Sunday. All right, so what's going on? Remember I was talking about the forecast model flip-flopping? Well, I'm just going to show you the overall upper level trend so we can kind of see what's going on here, all right? So here's today. There's the area of low pressure that's over us right now, the cold and unstable air. Some of that energy moves north, some of that energy moves to the south, and then that's what's going to really help to contribute to some of the gusty winds that we will see, especially on Saturday and even on Sunday as well. That kicks off to the east. This is all still expected. But then as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, this is where things begin to change. Now, the forecast models all this week have had this ridge of high pressure pretty much right on top of us as early as Monday afternoon and Tuesday. Now, look where that high pressure is now, latest forecast models. It's down to our south and east. And what we've got here is a pretty strong trough of low pressure storm system. That's going to continue to dig to the south. What's happening is this. This energy wants to move over us and bring us rain and snow in the mountains. But this ridge of high pressure wants to move over us and bring us sunny skies and warmer temperatures. So these two are pretty much battling it out. So what's happening is this is staying fairly persistent. This storm is going to stall out just to our west, and the flow around that low is going to help to bring some rain. Now, where I expect most of the rain through next week will be Siskiyou, Trinity County, and the North Coast, which would be Del Norte and Humboldt County. So again, Siskiyou, Trinity County, and the North Coast. Everyone else looking at slimmer chances. However, by Wednesday, I think everyone will see a chance for some rain. We'll take a closer look at that with Futurecast here in a second. But see how we go through the end of next week? This high pressure holding on steady, this area of low pressure sticking to the west. Now, what's going to happen is all you have to do, if this gives way just a little bit, this will allow this to push a little bit more to the east. And if that happens, all of those areas I mentioned that could see the best chances for rain, well, then we'd probably include everybody else too, if we could just shift this a little bit more to the east and get caught up in some of that flow. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when we look at Futurecast. All right, so here we are today. There's that area of low pressure. We've got the next system coming in over the weekend. There's Saturday, there's Sunday. Chances for showers, especially for the higher elevations and for the coast. There's Sunday. There's Sunday night. Now here's Monday. You see Monday, scattered showers. But that's the next system that's going to be approaching. So on Tuesday, we're not seeing much activity here. But by Wednesday, looks like everyone is getting caught up in some of that shower activity, especially for the valley westward. But look at Modoc County, look at Lassen and Plumas counties. You're not seeing much activity on Wednesday. Again, why? Because this area of low pressure, this storm system, is butting up against the ridge and preventing this from moving eastward. So watch what happens as we go into Thursday, Friday. Watch this rain. You see how it kind of retreats back up to the north and west? That's because the high pressure is building and getting stronger and nudging that back away from Northern California. So there's still chances, again, those typical places, right? Siskiyou, Trinity, Del Norte, Humboldt County, all seeing the best chance, the northwest part of the state here for Thursday, and then again on Friday. Now, some of the models are indicating that by Friday into that next weekend, this may shift a little bit more to the east. We'll see. But that's what's going on. This ridge that we're seeing right here was expected to be over us all next week. But that's not the case now. And that's really complicating things, really, if you will, because the positioning of the ridge of high pressure and the low pressure to our west is going to determine who sees rain and who doesn't. So for now, we're way too far out to know exactly who's going to see that. But I kind of settle that for you, at least kind of sift through all of that when you look at the 7-day forecast, and we'll show you that here in a bit. 10-day trend, remember, we're seeing a nice little spike up closer to normal by the middle and latter part of next week. Not the case now. We're still keeping it cool, maybe some low 60s by Thursday, Friday, but back down to the upper 50s by that next Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, the warmer trend, that's gone. Now, take a look at the wave heights. They're still a little high today, but they will retreat more as we take you into your Saturday. So conditions are improving if you do need to be on a small boat. Do want to mention there's a coastal flood advisory until noon today. Those astronomical high tides are going to create some flooding here in some of the typical spots here along the coast here. So just be aware of that Humboldt Bay northward as you get closer to Del Norte County. So here's a marine forecast for your Friday. North winds at 15 to 20 knots. We've got those north winds at 7 feet at 7 seconds. And from the west at 12 feet at 14 seconds. Small craft advisory for today. Real quick mention too, there is a freeze warning for tonight through tomorrow morning. Temperatures could drop below freezing. This area here along the coast is a frost advisory for the same time frame. Temperatures there in the low to mid 30s, that is, for those overnight and early morning lows. So essentially what that means is protect sensitive vegetation and plants. Make sure your pets too have somewhere warm to sleep. All right, so here's your forecast, your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Late in the day, Saturday, maybe some showers. Sunday, better chances. And then Monday, can see some showers. Tuesday, maybe a chance, but then Wednesday, Thursday, better chances coming in. Today, you're dry. Temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 40s for your daytime highs. 42 for Mad River, 47 out in Hayfork. Let's take you out to the North Coast neighborhood forecast. Today, dry. Tomorrow, showers, especially in the afternoon. Sunday, showers, heavier rainfall coming in Sunday afternoon. Monday, all the way through next week, you got a chance for showers in there, but some more measurable rainfall coming in by the middle and latter part of next week. Same story for all of the North Coast with that 7-day outlook. Ferndale, about 53. 50 in Hyattsville, and Fortuna about 51. 55 out in Trinidad. We'll look for a high of 51, 52 that is for McKinleyville, and Eureka about 53 degrees. Up north, 45 for Gas Key, 53 in Smith River, and Orleans about 50 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. One of the areas I mentioned that's going to have the best chance for rain over the next 7 days. And you can clearly see that every single day there's something going on, right? Including today, but again, mainly dry today. Let's just put it that way. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for your daytime highs. 42 degrees in Greenview and Etna, 41 for Callahan, and Fort Jones about 43 degrees. Central, eastern Siskiyou County, we're talking 37 for Doris, 38 for, it's cold. 38 is the daytime high, 40 for Mount Shasta City, and 43 degrees in McLeod. How about your Modoc County neighborhood forecast? One of the areas that won't see as much rain next week. Take a look at that 7-day outlook. 4,000 feet today, if we even see anything, which will be very light. Dry Saturday, dry Sunday, maybe some activity on Monday. But look at this, dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You looked at the 7-day for the coast, it was a chance for rain every day. Not the case for the Modoc County. Again, why? That storm is stalling out, and it won't, based on the latest forecast model, it won't make its way to Modoc County. It also won't make its way to the eastern mountains. That's why we've got those drier conditions through most of next week, with the exception of Sunday into Monday. Temperatures today, 49 for Montgomery Creek, 44 degrees in Bernie. Let's take you out to Lake Almanor in Lassen Park. Of course, Lassen Park, very cold. You're below freezing, but looks like around the perimeter of the lake, mid to upper 30s to around 40 for your daytime high in Chester. Take you to the south, Paradise, you're looking at about 51 today. Look at that, fairly dry. It's not until Wednesday that maybe Paradise you'll see some rain. And then for Susanville, a slight chance, especially for this morning. Monday, maybe some activity, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably dry. We'll see. Again, this is all going to change. Your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures right around 60 today, give or take. Mainly upper 50s, 59 degrees for Redding, 58 degrees for Cottonwood, 53 for Whiskeytown and Lakehead, about 52 degrees. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. Doesn't look very wet, does it? I mean, when you compare it to other places here in Northern California, but by Wednesday, I think that's the best chance maybe for some rain. Depends on where that storm decides to stall out. And then Thursday of next week, it may shift back up to the north and west. We'll have to kind of wait and see. Boy, I tell you what, I mean, next week is a bit of a tricky forecast. I mean, even as I come back in here on Monday and start forecasting again, I'll be like, man, what's going to happen with that high pressure? What's going to happen with that low pressure? The positioning of both of those and how one of them or the other wins out will truly depend on who gets wet and who doesn't. And I tell you, that's a real tricky situation, because I mean, now we're really threading that needle a little bit and trying to figure out who gets that and who doesn't. So very interesting here. We've got Chappie kind of chiming in this morning, and as I'm doing my forecast, she says, I'm rooting for the low pressure to muscle out the high pressure so we can have more rain and snow. I agree. Let's bring this on. Let's get some wet weather here. Let's keep the ground wet. What's interesting is, I didn't bring it up here today. Let's put it in here and I'll show you. What's interesting, here's the latest drought monitor. I'm going to pop this up here for you. Here's the latest drought monitor. I mean, you can see most of Northern California, with the exception of the North Coast, is in the yellow, right? That's basically the lowest category of drought. So typically nothing to be terribly concerned about. It's when we start getting into the oranges and the reds that we have to start saying, all right, we got a problem. Don't have a really big problem right now. And this actually kind of makes me think maybe by Monday I will do, or maybe I'll even do it for this evening's update. But especially next week, maybe I'll do like how we're doing for the season. I really haven't done that in a while, because it just doesn't seem like it's been an issue. But I mean, how are we doing for the season? Let me while I'm just kind of doing this in the background, I'll keep that up here for you. I'm gonna see how at least just how Redding is doing. Let's pull that up. Oh man, I haven't even pulled that up in a while, have I? Yep, there we go. So let's see how we're doing for the season. We're actually, yeah, we're below normal. Since October 1st, that's when the season starts for us. We are 1.31 inches below normal for the season. Since January 1st, so for the year since January 1st, we're at about minus just a little less than an inch. So, I mean, we've certainly seen much worse conditions in that situation here. But yeah, I don't know. Thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, thanks for kind of reminding me, Chappie, kind of about, hey, maybe take a look at some of those rainfall totals and see how we're doing for the season so far. We got Mark Olson saying good morning. Lois is saying, oh, man, looks pretty interesting there. This week we got 5 inches of rain in McKinleyville. Wow. Today, frost on the windshield. It's cold. Delinda saying, yay for clear skies. Get to see the full moon. Is that tonight? I think the full moon was a couple of days tonight. Pretty foggy in MacArthur. Okay, that confirms some of the visibilities that we are seeing, so thanks for letting me know about that. Oh, Chris, you're saying in Bieber. Oh, you should be fine. You're going to be fine putting up that fence. It'll be cold for you, but you'll be fine. All righty. Well, what do you say we wrap up the show here and get ready for the weekend. The weekend is almost here, folks, so it's going to be a good time to get out there and enjoy it. Depends on where you are. Some people are going to see more rain than others. Others are going to be drier. But in the meantime, I hope you have yourselves a great Friday. I hope you have yourselves a great weekend. And be sure to check in with Chase Wilson. He'll be here throughout the weekend to give you your morning, noon, and your evening update 3 times a day. And he'll give you the latest on the forecast. I will be back right here on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. But of course, I'll have that morning update at 6 a.m. Until then, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.